Hey, hi there. I've been waiting a few hours to make this video because something happened today that got me extremely upset. I have been waiting my whole life to take a trip to Egypt. There's just something about those pyramids that just draw me, the history, the architecture. It's just like, yes, I got to do this. So anyway, I planned for the trip. I got the perfect trip. I called and they said, well, you have to have a passport before we even can book your trip. All right, fine and dandy. Go to the courthouse, go to get it renewed, and surprise, it would not be back in time. So they gave me a phone number to call in Philadelphia that takes like someone who needs to go quick, like sicknesses, deaths, travel plans that you don't have a passport for. Anyway, she said, okay, call back in 2 months on September 11th. And yes, you know, if we have a space, if you call on September 11th, there's a 2-week period there. We'll see if we can get you in if there's an opening. I'm thinking, okay. So September 11th, I'm thinking, oh, are they going to be there? Isn't that like a holiday? But yes, they were working. I got my appointment on September 20th. I can go down, get my passport. Everything's fine and dandy. It's a little more expensive, but hey, that's okay. So I call the travel agency. Well, I go online to look it over. I wondered, there's like add-ons. You can see different things while you're there. So I thought, okay, I'll get my add-ons, you know, no airfare. Okay, we have to add on airfare. I call the 800 number. And I listen. I'm thinking, option 1, option 2, option 3, option 4, option 5, option 6. And I'm like, wait a minute. There is no options on Thousand Trails. There's like other things, but not for these tours, which they're supposedly part of the RPI. And you have to call this number. That's what's listed, you know, on their website. So I thought, well, okay, maybe I misunderstood. So I tried it again. Okay, blah, blah, blah. Well, 5 seems to fit. I pressed 5 and it just keeps going back and going back and going back. And I'm like, okay, something's wrong here. So then I just called Thousand Trails and said, okay, you get the automated message. It's always, well, our operators are busy. We'll call you back. We'll keep you, you know, your number in line, whatever. Okay, I did get my call back. Talking with a nice young lady and said, hey, I'm trying to get a tour. You don't even have any options for tours when I call your phone number. And she just deeply apologized. And then I said, well, anyway, we've got to take care of business. I'm taking care of business. And she tells me, well, I've got to transfer you to somebody else. Okay, this Jennifer girl transferred me to a Jeanette. So I was speaking with Jeanette, and she was looking it over, and she goes, yes, of course, you know, started doing everything. And then when I brought up about the airfare, she was having a problem and said, I suggest you call this Collette travel agency, personal. That's the one we deal with, and they can help you better. I think she might have been new because she wasn't quite sure of herself. And I'm like, okay, if that works. So here we go. She transferred me over, and I talked with Juliana. Well, Juliana goes through, she explains to me there's some extra expenses, and yes, they can do the airport and the whole business. And then I said, I noticed I'm going as a signal. My husband does not have any interest in Egypt and doesn't want to go. I'm like, okay, but this is something I want to do. I'm going to go anyway. So you have to pay $800 more. Okay, I understand that. You know, they need to make their money. So then we start taking care of the excursions and the whole 9 yards. And I had to choose a different date because that one was filled up. And then she says, this is the catch. I am to make all the arrangements, pay her up front every single penny, and then, because I am a single, I am not guaranteed for the flight or the trip. I said, no, wait a minute. I'm supposed to schedule in advance. This is not like jumping on the plane at the last minute because somebody canceled. This is planning in advance. If I plan in advance and I pay you the total amount of money. You're telling me you are not going to guarantee my trip because I'm a single person going? And she said, yes, I apologize, but that's how it is. I'm like, isn't that discrimination? They do offer right there, it's so much money for a double occupancy and so much money for single occupancy. It's right there in black and white, and it says on their screen, guaranteed. They said, oh, that means the trip is guaranteed, not that you can go on the trip. And I said, well, what happens to my reservation? She says, oh, we just send all your money back. I'm like, well, no, you don't have to, because I'm keeping my money. If I plan a trip and you won't give it to me, this is RPI. It's Resort Parks International, which is a part when you purchase your higher end memberships with Thousand Trails, which actually I think that's illegal for them to say, you're single, I'm sorry, we're not going to guarantee your trip, but if you're a double, we will guarantee it and you can go. So, and needless to say, I thought I'd get it out there for all of you people that have Thousand Trails, and if you think you want to go somewhere alone because for any reason, whether they're not interested, whether they're not medically able to go, their passport doesn't make it in time, whatever the reason may be, that you could run into some problems, which I believe is called discrimination. I literally just joined on July 1st as an Advantage member to get, enjoy my retirement years before I go into that nursing home. But thank you for listening. I hope this was informative. And yeah, I'm still angry. And I mean, it's been a couple hours, but I've made a few phone calls. I've got them out there. I'm going to Egypt. If I have to swim across that ocean, I'm going to Egypt. Okay, well, you all have a good night now. Bye.